Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's video lesson, in which we will go over the grammar and use of language topics that you will need to succeed in this week's lesson. And, well, let's begin. Let's start. So, we are here, and if you have your books with you, we're going to, we can start here in this part. As we mentioned in the previous video, we are going to be working on our online workbooks, which if you have not seen the first video, so if you have not seen this video, it is important that you do watch this video first, and then I will add the video that I'm doing right now with you. I will add it here, okay? But you have to watch this video first to know the process to register in the class in the Cambridge LMS so that you can work on the content on the workbook, on the online workbook, because we are going to work in the online workbook. And during this week, we're going to be working on Unit 4, okay? And the reason I want to go over Unit 4, and it's kind of like I want to review some topics, and I want to make sure that some things are in very clear and that we can do certain things. So the first thing, let's begin with what is it about? So this week we're talking about, we're not talking about music only. We're talking about the kinds of entertainment that we like or don't like. Music, movies, you name it, video games, whatever you do for entertainment, we're talking about that. So, and usually that when we um, I don't know, like when we play video games, when we watch movies, when we go out to a movie, when we listen to music, go to concerts, sometimes we do so with a person. Sometimes we actually invite people out. We ask people out. So we make, accept, and decline invitations. And that's the two topics that we are going to be covering this week. The book begins with this part here, talks about types of music that people listen to in the United States. And then this part here, you can find it in the online workbook. Is this exercise here? Basically, you just have to uh, match the type of genre. Genre means género, the type of genre or category of movie or music or TV show in the entertainment section. So, like for example, reality show, TV show, right? Salsa, music, entertainment, movies, maybe science fiction, etc. Right? So it's pretty easy actually. This part here, that is this first exercise here. So if you want to check this here with me, very simple. It's gonna be just a drag and drop thingy. So simple as that, right? So hip hop, right? Easy. So we go to the next one, and here, um, I would like to listen to this conversation, guys, so that we know more or less what is the type of communication context that we are practicing for. Okay, because remember that basically in the end we are practicing for communication contexts. So situations that we might find ourselves in the future with people in an English speaking country, and we want to be proficient. We want to be able to speak about these things. So let's listen to this conversation.
Unit 4. Do you play the guitar? Page 23. Exercise 3. Conversation. What kind of music do you like? Part A. Listen and practice.
I can't wait for the Taylor Swift concert this Friday.
I think I know her. Does she play the violin?
No, she's a pop star.
Of course. I guess I don't listen to pop music a lot.
Oh, really? What kind of music do you like?
I really like hip hop. Drake is my favorite musician.
Doesn't Drake play the guitar?
No, Leanne. He sings and raps.
Okay. Well, I think we need to teach each other about music.
So yeah, that's standard kind of like conversation when people talk about what they like to listen to, right? So there are some things here like that are really really useful for us. Um, so well, just some before we move on, some expressions that we might want to take away from this conversation. I can't wait. That's it's like Spanish. No puedo esperar, right? No puedo esperar al, diríamos en español. No puedo esperar a que sea el concierto, ¿no? So in English, we're going to say, I can't wait for the concert. Uh, Now, this is grammar here, the standard question. We are going to review that in a moment. The structure of questions in the simple present using do or does as auxiliary. We're going to review that in a moment. And then, yeah, of course, I guess I don't listen to music a lot. What kind of music do you like? So, very common question that we're going to ask in this context. What kind of music do you like, right? So let's go ahead and begin with the first grammar focus part. Now, in this section here, this is for you. You have it in your books. There are two topics we're going to actually approach. The first one is a review of the structure of the questions in simple present with short answers using do or does as auxiliary verb. And that is the first thing we're going to review. And the second thing we're going to actually cover today is the use of these words, which are called object pronouns. So you can see, when you read this, you can see both being used. Like, for example, do you like Imagine Dragons? This is a band. They should probably not include because this is confusing. But this is the name of the band, Imagine Dragons. So do you like Imagine Dragons? Is like you say, do you like the Beatles? Right? Something like that. Yes, I'm sorry. Do they like Imagine Dragons? Yes, they do. They like them. So they don't say Imagine Dragons again. They say them because they don't want to repeat. But they don't say they, it's them. So why is it them and not they? We're gonna talk about that today. So let's begin with the first part here. Let's review simple present structure for questions, okay? Let's do that. So, um, okay. So first, I would like guys to do a quick review of the way that verbs change in English. Remember that sometimes our verbs, when we change, right? When you say, for example, I cry or the baby cries, I would like you guys to remember that there are different ways to change to do the endings, okay? And these are very simple rules just to review them very quickly. So when the verb ends in a consonant as R and Y, you're gonna change Y for I and then add ES, okay? So this is why you say the bird flies and you change it, right? I fly, the bird flies. But when you say pay, I pay, she pays, it doesn't change. And the reason, or I enjoy, she enjoys. And the reason for that is that there's a vowel, vocal, A or O, before Y. So we don't have to change Y for I. No, we just add S. So I would like you guys to remember that because when you say, oh yeah, she plays basketball, you don't have to change it in that case, right? So for example, here, Gassi often buys. So you don't have to change the verb. She always says. You don't have to change the verb. But here you have Y and you have R. This is a consonant sound. So her father often worries about her. So it is important to remember that. Just to review that, when you're talking about a third person singular and you're going to change the form of the verb, remember that there are rules to consider. Now there is there are some more considerations, other exceptions. This is one exception. We are going to be reviewing those exceptions in the next weeks, but this week we are only going to review this situation, this exception, and that's gonna be fine. So I would like you guys, I would like to go over also three verbs that change differently. So you know that have in third person singular is has. So it's important to remember. It is important to remember that. It is important to remember that do changes to does. And it is important to remember that go changes to goes. Okay? So these are three exceptions also that we need to have right now fresh in our memory. So let's go ahead and see, talk about asking questions in the simple present. So if you go to the book, you will see that we are asking questions and responding with short answers. And if you can see this, do you like country music? Yes, I do. No, I don't. We are using do as an auxiliary verb. Okay? So it is important to remember that do works as an auxiliary verb, which is one of the things that we have to master in this stage of our English learning. Okay? So, for example, sorry. Yeah. So the structure for questions is very simple. We use do or does, then the subject, and then the main verb. And then there can be other things here, but do I like salad? Do I, right? Sorry. Do I like? The verb, it's in the simple form, in the base form. Bueno, un punto muy importante, un paréntesis que quiero hacer para quien no le ha quedado muy claro esto. Si ustedes recuerdan inclusive, yo les di un recurso, aquí quiero hacer un paréntesis rápidamente, yo les di un recurso que debe de estar por acá, que es este de aquí, una hojita donde, ¿verdad? En este caso voy a utilizar aquí comment para poder comentarios, ¿verdad? En este recurso yo les quería ayudar o la intención de este recurso es ayudarlos a separar, ¿verdad? Algo que pasa en este punto, en nuestro aprendizaje, es que nos encontramos con que la palabra do en inglés tiene dos funciones, digamos que se pone dos sombreros. Una de las funciones o uno de los sombreros que se pone la palabra do es cuando actúa como un verbo base, o sea, como una acción, ¿verdad? En cuyo caso sería hacer, ¿verdad? No hacer, así por ejemplo, hacer tarea, do homework, haz tu trabajo, do your job, ¿verdad? Y aquí podría contrariarnos un poquito, pensar, es que no era hacer make. Bueno, recordar que para algunas cosas es do y para otras es make. Make normalmente es para algo que es como hacer con las manos, ¿verdad? Make a cake. Pero la tarea, algo más como make es más como cuando haces algo, que tú creas algo, ¿verdad? Pero haz tu trabajo, haz la tarea, puede ser muchas cosas. Entonces, bueno, recordar que do se puede poner ese sombrero, ¿verdad? De ser un verbo base, un verbo de acción, y que como dijimos actúa como hacer. Entonces, en ese caso, ¿verdad? Cuando do, ¿verdad? Es un verbo base, ¿verdad? Bueno, tenemos aquí que tendría dos formas, ¿verdad? Tendría la forma, ¿verdad? Tendría dos formas acá. Tendría do y tendría does. Igual que cuando lo utilizamos como auxiliar. Entonces, ¿cuál es la diferencia? ¿Cuál es la diferencia de utilizar do como auxiliar y do como un verbo base? Bueno, es muy sencillo. Voy a abrir un pequeño archivo aquí. Esta es una pequeña pauta para que continuemos sin ningún problema para quien esto aún no nos queda claro, porque sí es bastante diferente al español. Vamos a ver. Do. Vamos a poner un ejemplo que vimos en clase. What do you do for a living? Entonces, si recuerdan aquí, ¿verdad? Decíamos que teníamos la aparición de do dos veces, pero bueno, en el primer caso, ¿qué está pasando? Do nos está... Lo que sucede es esto, chicos, como se expone aquí. La sintaxis, la gramática del inglés nos demanda para formular preguntas que involucran el si se hizo o no se hizo algo. Que ahí está la clave, el por qué se utiliza do como auxiliar. Cuando queremos preguntar si alguien hace o no hace algo, noten cómo hace o no hace, ¿verdad? Cuando queremos hacer eso, la gramática del inglés nos pide que utilicemos do como auxiliar. Pero no como puede ser con otro verbo, ¿verdad? Pero do sería el auxiliar. Entonces empezamos como lo dice aquí en este recurso que yo les di, nuestras preguntas en presente simple las iniciamos con, si es pregunta, ¿verdad? Do, luego el sujeto y luego ya el verbo. Entonces, por ejemplo, si en este caso, what do, aquí está el auxiliar, you do for a living. En esta segunda ocasión, do ya está funcionando como hacer. O sea, ¿qué haces para ganarte la vida? Sería. Noten cómo, porque se nos va a dificultar, porque en español no necesitamos es el uso de un auxiliar en esta conjugación. Entonces es donde podemos empezar a veces no nos acaba como de cascar, ¿verdad? Bueno, entonces si ponemos muy sencillo, por ejemplo, do you play the guitar? Que es como empieza la unidad, ¿verdad? Bueno, aquí ponemos play. Lo voy a poner en mayúsculas para que se acuerden que esta es la forma base. La forma base, ahorita vamos a adelantar a ver por qué es tan importante no olvidar eso. Do you play the guitar? Bueno, play tiene ¿cuántas formas? Tiene dos formas en presente simple. La forma, la que se utiliza para todas las personas, excepto para la tercera singular, y la forma para tercera singular, que no es necesario cambiar la Y, como vimos ahorita, porque precede una vocal. Muy bien. Entonces, en ese caso, ¿qué utilizamos? Do. Necesitamos que entonces nuestra estructura para las preguntas, cuando queremos saber si alguien hace algo, es comenzar con do, como auxiliar, o sea, sin el significado de hacer realmente, sino como con una función de gramatical, de sintaxis. Do you play the guitar? Aquí, ¿verdad? En este caso, does she play the guitar? The piano. Ok. Entonces noten cómo lo que quiere explicar aquí el libro es eso, precisamente, ¿verdad? Do you like? Does she play? Pero, bueno, la explicación, el por qué lo tenemos, por qué no, en este caso, se requiere, bueno, ¿qué pasa? Nuestra intuición, si estuviéramos empezando a aprender inglés, sería, bueno, like es gustar, tú eres tú, you, entonces, you play, perdón, you play the guitar, sería nuestra intuición, ¿verdad? Bueno, hice este pequeño paréntesis para notar cómo no, de hecho, entonces la gramática del inglés nos requiere comenzar las preguntas sobre si se hace o no se hace algo, o alguien hace o no hace algo, o tú haces o no haces algo, con do o does. Muy bien. Okay, let's continue. So, that's very, very simple. Okay, that's what we're gonna do here. Do you like salad? Do we? Do they? Does she? So notice, pay attention how this is the one, when we ask questions with do or does, this is the one that changes, not the base verb. So the base, when we ask questions with do or does, we go from the auxiliary directly to the base verb. We don't use these ones because these ones are the ones that represent the type of person, the plurality, singular or plural, third person or first or second or third or first person. Okay, so with questions, this is the one. The auxiliary changes, the action verb does not change. It stays the same, right? Very good. So that's actually very, very simple. Does he? Does it? So now, simple. Very, very, very easy. Now what happens with negatives? With negatives is the same. When we use negatives, when we say, for example, here, no, she doesn't play. Notice, pay attention how it is not she doesn't plays. You don't repeat that. Why? Because when we make negative statements, we use the auxiliary do or does and then directly to the base verb. We don't go to the conjugated verbs. The auxiliary is the one that we conjugate. Okay? So that's the grammar for this part here. Now, what about this here? Me, you, him, her, it, us. Well, basically, guys, it's actually also very simple. I'm going to exit this presentation and let's go to the next one, in which we have, where are you? Sorry. So object pronouns. Sorry. So subject or object. So you remember that we have I, but it's not the same. I know Gina. Ah, okay. I know, but Gina likes me. It's not the same. It's not Gina likes I. So why is that? Well, because in grammar, there is always a subject, the person that does the action, and sometimes there is an object, which is the person or thing that receives the action. Entonces en gramática, como en español igual, hay sujeto y objeto. A veces hay objeto, siempre hay sujeto y a veces hay objeto. Sujeto es el que realiza la acción, objeto el que la recibe. Y en inglés, vamos a tener diferente pronombre para una situación y para la otra. Okay, so it's I, me, you, and you is the same. She and her. So she knows Gina, Gina likes her. He knows Gina, Gina likes him. It is a nice day, Gina likes it. So it stays the same. As you can observe, some of them stay the same, but most of them change. What happens with plural? They change as well. We know Gina, Gina likes us. So it is not Gina likes we. No, it's Gina likes us. Because us is the object. You know Gina, Gina likes you. Again, you plural stays the same. They know Gina, Gina likes them. So those guys are object pronouns. And so when you are doing this here, you are going to be using those. For example, him, right? They like them. So this corresponds to, and let's go back to, where are we here? Read the questions, choose the correct words in the answer. So you're going to highlight the correct word. Do you like Kendrick Lamar? Right? Do you like horror movies? Yes, I do. Now, this phrase here, can't stand, literally means no soporto o no puedo soportar, para que tengan una idea, porque no viene aquí, No lo veo. Okay? So it is important. Can't stand. So yes, I do. Which one is correct? Okay? Do you like heavy metal music? Yes, I do. I like it or them. So you're going to choose which one. Is it heavy metal music? Is it singular or plural? Okay? Then we're going to go to exercise number 3. Easy, you're going to match exercise number 4. Complete the conversations with do and like. So we are going to practice precisely what we just saw about using do as auxiliary verb with the base verb like. So, all right. Okay. So, for example, Ken says, pop music, Janet. So, what is the question? Now, let's stop for a moment. Vamos a parar un momento para reflexionar realmente. Aquí es muy importante que lo podamos poner al nivel de competencia con el que lo hacemos en español. ¿Qué preguntamos en español? ¿Te gusta la música pop? Noten cómo tenemos nuestro sujeto en forma de pronombre, te. Tenemos nuestro verbo, gusta, y tenemos el objeto, la música pop. En ningún momento estamos usando algún tipo de verbo auxiliar para hacer la conjugación. Bueno, es importante acostumbrarnos a que en inglés sí vamos a usar un verbo auxiliar, que en este caso sería, el sujeto es you, entonces sería do or does. Do, ¿verdad? Do you, y luego sería, ¿cómo quedaría aquí? Do you like? ¿Sí? Ahora, aquí por ejemplo, Ken quiere preguntar si ella toca la guitarra. Lo mismo, ¿cómo preguntaríamos en español? ¿Ella toca la guitarra? En ningún momento se está usando un auxiliar. En inglés sí lo vamos a necesitar. ¿Cuál sería? Do or does? She is a third person singular, right? So, does. Does. She play. Quiero que noten entonces en esta actividad como aquí, este verbo, el que refleja a la tercera persona singular es el auxiliar. El verbo la acción se quedó intacto porque en realidad es el verbo base, o sea, se va del auxiliar al verbo que representa la acción básico. Muy bien. Excellent, guys. So this is the exercise number 4. Let's see exercise number 5. By the way, it is important to mention that these activities here in the online workbook are the same as the workbook in physical form. So those of you who do not have access to internet at home, if you really don't have access to internet, you can work in your physical workbook, and you can send me the pictures of or the scan, or however you want to do it, of your answered exercises. Entonces reitero, una de las ventajas es que estos ejercicios en el libro de trabajo en línea son los mismos que en el libro de trabajo físico, y ese libro de trabajo está en la parte trasera de su libro rojo. Entonces, quien definitivamente no tenga acceso a internet puede trabajar en el libro físico y sacar fotos y mandarlas. Yo recomiendo altamente, sería mucho mejor que trabajaran en el libro online, ¿verdad? So, Do you play the guitar? So we're going to complete here with question words, right? So just to remind you what kind is like type, okay? So what kind of movies do you like is like what type of movies do you like? Then the next one, he really likes. So choose the correct word to complete the sentences. So here you're going to complete the sentences based on this information. Okay, so you have to read this to know which one is this here. Okay. Exercise number 7. So you watch, you play, and you listen to. So you watch what? You play what? And you listen to what? Very easy. Exercise number 9. We have a reading. So you're going to read this movie review. Review is reseña. So movie review, you're going to read it, and then you're going to decide if this is what is the title based on the review. Van a decir cuál es el título de la película basado en lo que se dice de ella en la reseña. Okay, choose the best title for each review. So you have to click here because it's 1 and then 2 and then 3. So there are 3 movie reviews that you have to read and choose titles for. Okay, then you go to exercise number 9. More reviews. Okay, so again 3 more reviews, so a lot of reading. This is good because it is exposure for you, reading. Exercise number 10. And here choose the correct sentences to complete the conversations. So you have conversations here and you're going to complete what makes the most sense after this statement. ¿Qué es lo que tenga más sentido después de lo que dice la persona A? So you're going to choose that. Right? Recordando que I can't stand significa no puedo soportar. So, repasando lo de los pronombres del objeto, reviewing object pronouns, I can't stand it sería como no puedo soportarlo. I can't stand them sería como no puedo soportarlos, ¿verdad? Muy importante tomar eso en cuenta. And then we find this word here. Would you like? So here, this is when we find ourselves in need for the last grammar lesson of today. We are almost done with this video, but we have one more grammar lesson to do, and that is this one here, the use of would. Now, the would, what is important about this, it's actually pretty simple. I would like to go over very quickly how these types of verbs work. Aquí es importante repasar esto y trabajarlo también porque una vez más tenemos una discrepancia bastante significativa entre el inglés y el español. Pasa algo, chicos. Déjenme borrar esto. Aquí en el material que les hice aquí hay una sección, toda esta parte que dice all modals, todos los modales, y que te dice que todos los modales van directo al verbo base. Vamos a ver por qué es eso. Vamos a ver cómo se utilizan los modales y qué son los modales. Hemos trabajado probablemente ya algunos con anterioridad, pero vamos realmente a meditar, a enfocarnos en esos modales, qué son y cómo se usan y cuáles, por qué no se utilizan. Son auxiliares, pero son auxiliares que no se utilizan exactamente de la misma forma que el auxiliar básico o neutro, yo le digo el neutro a do o does, es como un auxiliar neutro, porque solamente se utiliza para preguntar si se hace o no se hace algo, do o does. Pero luego tenemos auxiliares como, y déjenme ver por qué no se abre. Porque este está abierto. Tenemos auxiliares, muchos auxiliares, como can. So we have can, could, may, might, should, had better, must, will, and would, finally. So what do you notice right away? ¿Qué notan luego? What do you notice right away? So, auxiliary, modal auxiliaries, like these ones, two things. I'm sorry. They don't change. They are always the same form. They don't have two forms. If you notice, do has two forms, do and does, right? The verb to be has, in the present tense, has three forms, am, are, and is. Modal auxiliaries don't have forms. They only have one form. But differently to do and does, which is neutral, these ones, they have a more specific meaning. Entonces lo que tienen los modales, chicos, es que tienen un significado más específico. No son auxiliares neutrales, como en el caso de do. O sea, la sintaxis es muy parecida el orden de las palabras. Si nosotros vemos cómo se, por ejemplo, la pregunta que nos hacen aquí, ¿verdad? Would you like to see a movie? Vamos a ponerle aquí. Would you like to see a movie? Noten cómo la estructura es muy parecida a do you play. ¿Qué tenemos? Tenemos el auxiliar. Vamos a compararlo. Tenemos el auxiliar, ¿verdad? Tenemos el sujeto y tenemos el verbo acción. Pero vamos a ver qué pasa si hacemos lo siguiente. Does she play the guitar? Entonces, ¿cuál sería la diferencia aquí? Bueno, si notan, en el caso de do, el auxiliar, do como auxiliar, tuvo que reflejar a la persona, a la tercera persona singular. En el caso de would, no tuvo que reflejarlo. O sea, se quedó igual. Y eso es algo importante sobre la forma de los auxiliares. No cambian. No cambian. Ahora, ¿qué es diferente de ellos? Bueno, tienen una, como digo, un significado mucho más específico. Y es bastante diferente al español también en este caso, porque en español lo que haríamos, y la diferencia aquí sería, que en este caso, perdón, voy a quedarme con estos dos originales. En este caso, do you play the guitar? Es si lo haces o no lo haces. Cuando utilizamos do como auxiliar es si se hace o no se hace. Y ya. Pero cuando utilizamos los modales, chicos, cualquiera. O sea, no solamente would, will, must, had better, should, might, may, could, can. Esto lo vamos a ir adquiriendo con diferentes contextos. El contexto que estamos ahorita estudiando nos sirve es un contexto para aprender a usar would. Pero lo que tienen en común todos es que tienen un significado más, un contenido, un significado más específico que solamente do. En este caso, would, bueno, para lo que nos sirve es para digamos, la más sencillo de verlo es como, por ejemplo, te gustaría. O sea, no es lo mismo te gusta, por ejemplo, voy a ponerlo aquí. Do you like horror movies? En este caso, cuando utilizo do como auxiliar, realmente lo único que quiero saber es si se hace esto o no se hace. O sea, si te gusta o no te gusta. ¿Te fijas? Cuando yo utilizo would como auxiliar, no es si te gusta o no te gusta, es si te gustaría. Entonces, notar la diferencia aquí en español, ¿cómo hacemos eso? ¿Qué estrategia usamos? Bueno, hacemos un cambio en el verbo. Gustar, gustaría. Gusta, gustaría. No utilizamos un auxiliar al inicio de la pregunta. ¿Se fijan? En inglés, sí. Entonces, en inglés, este auxiliar que utilicemos a los inicios de la pregunta o cuando es una afirmación, I would like to eat pizza. Entonces, ¿verdad? Lo que hace el auxiliar es modificar para que no es solamente, aquí estoy diciendo me gusta comer pizza, aquí estoy diciendo me gustaría comer pizza. Okay, so I hope that, and I am explaining this with Spanish and the comparison in Spanish because I think it is very to the point, going to the point without so much, you know, going, I don't know, like a redundancy. Okay, so it's just to the point. So that's what it happens here. When we use would you like to go out on Friday? So, yes, I would. Or yes, I'd love to. Now, I'd, this contraction, the, is the contraction for would. So it is important that when you see I'd like to, I'd is the contraction for would. I would like to, okay? So with this, you are going to be able to answer this here and this final activity here, number 12. Okay, so in this activity, Fabiana is inviting friends to a movie. Do they accept the invitation? Choose yes or no. Okay, so I'd love to. What time does it start? So what do you think? Do they accept the invitation? Does this friend number 1, friend number 2, friend number 3, friend number 4, and friend number 5. So she invites 5 friends to the movies, and you're gonna read to their responses, and based on their responses, you're gonna choose yes, they accept, or no, they do not accept the invitation. So I'd love to. I would love to. Me encantaría. Yes? Okay, guys, so that's basically it. We have, well, this is exercise 11, then exercise 12. I think this is the last one for sure. Yes, this is the last one. And here you also have, right? These two, easy. And you have to choose between do you like and would you like. Now, this is very important. Remember what we just talked about here. Do you like? Esto es, quiero saber, do you like horror movies? Quiero saber si te gustan o no te gustan. Would you like to see a horror movie? Aquí ya no te pregunto si te gustan o no te gustan, te pregunto si te gustaría. Okay? So you have to choose which one makes more sense, which choice is more coherent with this situation. Okay? And it also has 2, and when you finish, you don't, exercise 13, yeah. Let me see, exercise 13. No, use phrase. No, you don't have to do exercise 13, okay? Only do up to exercise 12. Entonces no tenemos que hacer el 13 no lo vamos a hacer. Yo creo que ya es suficiente con hasta el 12, creo que son bastantes ejercicios. ¿Sí? Quien quiera hacer para practicar más el ejercicio 13 y los listening exercises, la razón por la que no les pido de momento los listening exercises es porque probablemente algunos no tengan, aunque bueno, si acceso aquí, si no tienen acceso a internet y van a trabajar con el libro de trabajo en forma física, pues no van a tener acceso a los audios, ¿verdad? Entonces, bueno, estos listenings, si más adelante buscaremos cómo poder trabajar los listenings sin necesitar la plataforma en caso de los que no necesitan, o si todos pueden usar la plataforma, entonces ya podemos empezar a dejar los listenings sin ningún problema y quitamos algunos ejercicios de los otros y agregamos los listenings. Pero por lo pronto, esta semana solamente hasta el 12, ¿sí? Hasta el ejercicio 12 y esa es la gramática que necesitan. Espero que todo haya quedado muy claro. Okay, so I hope that everything is clear, guys, that the lesson was clear and good enough for you, and I will be in touch, and any questions, please send me a telegram.